Welcome back. It's December, it's freezing cold, and I'm in the unit and I thought I'd share some thoughts with you. In the last video, we introduced the S1600 build that we'll be doing next year, and we also mentioned that we started another project, which was an Iceberg Silver 172. And the idea behind that was to be somewhat of a daily, and as you know, things don't tend to go to plan sometimes. You start doing bits and bobs and then your head starts going, ooh, I wonder if I could do this. Then before I know it, it ended up with brakes, suspension. But the only thing that was letting it down was the bodywork. I mean, I bought this car for 800 quid off a nice lad off Marketplace, and it was a non-runner. And me being me, bit of a Clio guru, some may say, I got it running when I got it home in about 10 minutes, and all it turned out to be was a crank sensor, so there was no spark. So I got it running and started using it for a bit, but the bodywork, it had smart repairs, and the one side was complete cabbage. It had all failed, so there was like no lacquer and blah-de-blah. And yeah, but we used Christine over the summer. We went to Summer Action Day at Castlecombe, as we mentioned in our previous videos as well. And it didn't quite go to plan. And we thought we blew her up. We'll insert a little video right now, and you can see what's going on. Stay tuned. So, as you saw, me and my friend Sam went to Summer Action Day. He come as a passenger because his car wasn't ready in time. He's got an EP3, pretty high spec track car, and he come along for the ride instead of wasting his ticket. So we went round, did 2 or 3 laps, and then the coolant started to get a bit hot, and we couldn't figure out why, but took it off the track, and as soon as I pulled over by the scrutineering area, one of the pipes had exploded, and I thought a fire extinguisher had gone off underneath the bonnet because there's steam everywhere, and it wasn't really good, but we managed to fix it pretty sharpish. Ended up being a barb in between 2 pipes had melted, which wasn't cool, but we went to the on-site shop, can't remember what it's called, on Castle Combe, and they were really helpful and managed to get us out of the shit. I managed to drive home fine, temperatures all fine, but Christine's starting to look a little bit tired now. I mean, she was a race car before we got her, and yeah, a bit battered and bruised. So I started thinking, well, why don't I 20 valve the new one that we've already started? So here she is. So here she is, meet Alice. I don't like to recycle names, even though this is a replacement for Christine. I think it's bad luck, so a bit like renaming a ship. So as you can probably see from where you're sitting, it's a bit of a flip paint, and we called it Demigorgon Green. Some of you on my socials would have seen it while I was painting it and stuff. Well, my friend Jamie painted the shell, I painted various other bits and bobs, but there's a few things like the doors, bonnet, bumpers, trims, etc. to be painted. So here she is in a sort of shell state, should I say. And it's quite a crazy colour. And I know a few of you guys on the Clio pages actually quite like it. Well, I do anyway, I love it. But it's very one-off. We had it mixed to spec. It was sort of a wing it type of thing, but it turned out really, really well. And we ended up with 10 litres of it. So don't worry about colour matching if I get any stone chips and stuff. We've got plenty of paint, which is awesome. So at the moment, Alice still has the F4R engine, not the F7R. I made a mistake a few videos ago, but it's the F4R engine. She's probably pushing 200 horsepower. She's pretty nippy, but not fast enough for us for what we're going to do. So Christine's 20 valve turbo engine is going to go in here, but we're going to do a few tweaks. Definitely cooling tweaks, and we want more power, so we're going to strap a massive turbo to her and send her to the moon. The S1600 is not going to have the running gear out of Christine. That's going to have a completely standalone setup. So I'm using the TT that we've got as a donor car. I may be using the looms. I might go a different way of how I've done the Clio in the past. I might go a different way about it and look at different options. But this one will certainly be having Christine's original setup and some. That's Alice. So please let us know what you think in the comment section about the colour and the the direction of the build, etc. And what I'll do now is I'll do a little montage of how we've got Alice in the first place, when we picked her up, etc., and the little journey she's been on so far. And hopefully she's going to be finished bodywork wise very soon, and then we can start cracking on with pulling Christine apart. And if you want a video of me doing the changeover and converting Alice from Christine, also let us know in the comment section, and we'll see you very, very soon. Adios.